Hello plant lovers, it is Matthew in Melbourne welcoming you back to my channel, and it is the eve of New Year's Eve. So we are looking forward to 2023. I know I am, I hope you are too. And yes, look, here is a little purple beauty to help us celebrate the new year. But if you are new here, I grow cold, cool, intermediate orchids here in Melbourne, Australia, without a greenhouse or grow lights or humidifiers, just me and them either indoors or outdoors, or they're out of the pool. So plant lovers, if that sounds like your type of environment, do hit subscribe. I post every week, and today is the day before the eve of New Year's Eve, and 2023 beckons. What might it bring in terms of orchids? Well, here's how 2022 is ending. Dendrobium victoriae-reginae is in bloom again. Yes, this orchid bloomed for me in March of this year, and it is now December, so twice a year. March is early autumn here in Australia, and these flowers have opened in early summer, so there you go. March was the first time it bloomed for me, so I'm not sure if I can get 2 blooms a year forever, but here we are. And it does say in the books that it can bloom periodically and at sort of any given point. Anyway, I'm very happy. Now, I have made a care video about this before, and I will link that below, but I just thought it's the eve of New Year's Eve, and look, I just wanted to celebrate because the plant has grown, and we now have 3 flowering canes and lots of new growth. So I thought, look, why not? We can also just bust the myth of blue orchids, because plant lovers, this is purple. And the other orchid of mine that happens to be in bloom at the same time is this fabulous baby, often also called a blue orchid, but yeah, once again, as purple, or in fact as violet as they can be. And this is Zygonicea, and it is Cynotia bluebirds. Blue, blue, blue. It's not blue, it's purple. But anyway, I have made a video about this, which I will post at some point, but I just wanted to celebrate all things blue slash they really are purple this eve of New Year's Eve and show you Dendrobium victoriae-reginae in full bloom. Bit of background, which we covered in the last video. It's an epiphyte, but it grows in the Philippines, but at high altitude. So a lot of orchids in the Philippines frighten me because I just feel they're going to be tropical and need a lot of humidity. But this one comes from the high altitude rhododendron and azalea forests, which just sounds beautiful. And it grows for me outdoors all year. So our minimums don't get to freezing here in the inner city of Melbourne. They can get close, 1 or 2 degrees centigrade, which is, you know, 36, 38, 40 degrees Fahrenheit, not quite freezing. The further out of the city you go, obviously, the nighttime minimums in winter can drop below 0 centigrade, 32 Fahrenheit, but not for me. Either way though, this is very happy, and I have got it, which I will show you now, hanging in a very cunning macrame plant hanger, which was incredibly cheap from our local hardware store. So there you go. So I think the other thing we covered in the previous video was I was giving this quite intense shade, let us just say, and then I decided to move it in a brighter area, and look what happened. It bloomed, and now it's bloomed again. So everywhere you read says this is a low light orchid. Here to tell you, it actually seems to me to love a bit of light. Other thing you can see, this is an older cane, and it's got 1 flower and a bud to open, and we've got a yellowing leaf. So the canes are deciduous, but it can also flower from a fully leafed cane. So there you are. Again, the thing that I have read about is that it flowers from denuded canes of the year before. Well, not in my case. It's happily flowering from canes with leaves. Now this cane here has actually got 5 flowers. It's got 4 buds that haven't quite opened yet and 1 flower. So absolutely beautiful. This one has got 3 flowers and this cane has got 2. But isn't it gorgeous? I'm so happy with that. And imagine as the plant gets bigger, the display that we're going to have. Now, the other point is that this older cane, which is really starting to lose all its leaves, this is the cane that bloomed for me in March. And I don't know, I'll try and come in and see. You can still see the stub of the old flower buds on the end there. So capable of reblooming from existing canes. Good to bear in mind. Don't go trimming your cane until it's ready to die or is dead, because it can bloom again. And then we have new growth. So this is the cane that has matured this year. This one is still growing, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 new canes here, and I can see 2 new growths coming out from the base there. So quite a vigorous grower. It is sort of doubled in size, I think, since March. and he's just a goer. Look at that. And plant lovers, it is so easy to look after. I've had to create a Tower of Babel to show it to you. I just keep it moist throughout the whole year, even in the coldest of weather. Obviously, when it's cold, I try and water outdoor orchids on a sunny, warm morning, not a cold, windy one, because that can sometimes lead to disaster, but I don't let it dry out. So there you are. That is really it. This is my New Year special, which is perhaps not so special, but these two flowers just seemed to want to be in the same video together, so they are. Now this one, Zygonicea, is a moisture and humidity loving orchid. One of its species ancestors is a bit boggy, as they say, likes to be moist, but I'm a bit gun shy of keeping things too wet after my terrible experience with Phaeocalanthe Lady Ramona looking at you, which didn't look at me because it promptly died anyway. That I kept too wet, so I'm not keeping this super wet, but moist. Anyway, there we are. Plant lovers, I also just want to say thank you so much for everyone's engagement this year. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. 2022 has been a great year. Also a tricky one, but hey-ho, isn't all years like that. But next year, plant lovers, the great news is finally the renovation on our house is beginning in January the 12th, in fact, in 2023. It's going to take over a year, but I am now beginning to start to think about the orchid growing area and what that's going to look like and how I'm going to grow things outside, because I do not have this amazing polycarbonate outdoor area in the new house. So I've got to figure out how to manage that. So that's going to be a work in progress, plant lovers. The other odd thing too, Dendrobium victoriae-reginae, is there's a lot of plants, a lot of species named after Queen Victoria. I couldn't find any species named after Queen Elizabeth. Obviously the tide of botanic nomenclature has changed and we're celebrating other people, not monarchs these days, in our naming of new species. So there's lots of cultivars of plants named after the Queen, the late Queen. Roses, clematis, there's an orchid I think, cultivar, but they're all cultivars rather than species. Anyway, so from our regal beauty of victoriae-reginae with the most beautiful flowers on 3 canes in a cluster, which is bringing my heart so much joy, and from Zygonicea, which is also bringing my heart full of joy. And look, they really should be together, shouldn't they? In perfect harmony. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful new year. Take care of yourselves, and let's look forward to what 2023 might bring. Who knows what that might be, but I do feel an orchid shop up coming on. So I feel in the new year I might have to make an unboxing video because I feel I'm going to buy something. Just putting that out there. But in the meantime, thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for finding me. Thank you for 2022. And I look forward to seeing you all, plant lovers, in 2023. Bye.